What don't I understand? Every time I pick this thing up, I know there are millions of people out there who are going to hate me for it. Even now, here, I feel it. The stares, the judgment. And there's nothing I can do to change it. Yet I'm still here. No super serum, no blonde hair or blue eyes. The only power I have is that I believe we can do better. We can't demand that people step up and we don't meet them halfway. You control the banks. Shit, you can move borders. You can knock down a forest with the email. You can feed 1 million people with the phone call. But the question is, who's in the room with you when you're making those decisions? Is it the people you're going to impact? Or is it just more people like you?
What's up, everyone? The new Captain America movie, A Brave New World. We saw it a few days ago. It took us a while to sit down and actually review it because it wasn't necessarily anything to... I was wanting it to be a lot better than it was. I'm just cutting straight to it because that's why it's taken us a few days to actually review this. We saw it the night in. We were just like, we'll review it sometime later and down the road. So here we are sitting down. We've got the red, white lights going on. I didn't realize that.
What's that?
Red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he just did that. That wasn't.
Yeah, new setup, trying it. Let us know what y'all think. The new lighting. What do you think of the movie?
Well, first I want to address the elephant in the room. Before the movie came out, okay, there's a lot of rewrites, a lot of, I guess the screenings weren't great. But even before all that, there was a lot of content creators just dogging it. Just like it hadn't even came out and people were hating it. Look, people, Anthony Mackie's, the Black Captain America is not a DEI hire, all right? I used to collect comic books, okay? Back when I was peeing in the bed. There was a Black Captain America in the comics, okay? So all this, DEI stuff, and is it DEI or is it it ain't DIE. People were just hating on it just because there was a Black Captain America. Now look, me and my brother, we don't care about all that stuff, but this was obviously like behind the 8 ball as soon as Chris Evans got replaced with Anthony Mackie with the Black Captain America. It just seemed like every time I turned on a content creator's content, it was already like they wanted it to fail. It was like they wanted it to fail. That's the way I was like, wow, like I'm not going to watch this. If you watched every other Marvel movie, which I have, why would you stop watching it at this one, even if it was going to suck? You just want to see the story move forward, right? You want to see what they're bringing into the, you know what I mean? You want to see what's going on, like, because Secret Wars is, they're trying to set up the Avengers team again. I get that the movie, like my brother said, I agree with him. I agree with you guys. It was all right. You know what I mean? Like Chris said, I hit up Chris. I said, hey, let's do that review. Chris was like, oh yeah, I forgot we watched that movie. It's like, because we agree with you. We were not rushing and dying to review the movie, but I did notice a lot of hate towards this movie. So before it even came out, like I said, I know Anthony Mackie, he said something about, did you hear about that? When he said being Captain America isn't about being American, it's about being wholesome and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And everybody was
like... It actually made it worse. Right?
Yeah, it made it worse because people are like, what are you saying? Americans aren't blah, blah, blah. Like, so they're already hating on the movie before. Then that came out. And I'm looking at all these, like us, movie film content, they were already hating on it. I'm like, man, and I know some of them knew that there was actually a Black Captain America in the comic books, played by the Falcon, who turned into...
It's canon.
It's canon, folks. So I get it. It wasn't Endgame. It wasn't, Winter Soldier even, which was one of the best. It wasn't Civil War. If you're a fan of these movies, you want to see them. You just want to see where it's going. All right. And that's why I went. I even saw Captain Marvel. I saw, whatever film you don't like from Marvel. I watch all of it because I want to make sure I'm able to follow the streamline, the way the story's unfolding. So when it gets to Secret Wars, I'll be ready. I agree with a lot of the reviewers. They said that it was kind of like the continuation of the Incredible Hulk story. Because it had a lot of so the first Hulk with I forgot the
It was
Edward
an
Norton.
entirely different Hulk, right? I saw that, and he was fighting Annihilation.
Yeah,
They showed a scene from that.
right. But it's canon.
Not much of a spoiler.
Well, yeah, exactly.
so
Yeah.
is that from a different universe?
No, it's canon. So Edward Norton was supposed to be the Hulk in the Avengers, the one from that.
So they're just saying that's the same Hulk. They're just kind of rolling with the punches on
Well,
that.
they're rolling with that because at the Beyonder, what's his name? The Beyonder, I think, the guy with the messed up head.
Yeah,
He was in that movie.
I don't even remember him in that movie.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he
gamma
looked
blood
familiar.
dripped on him, and then you're like, what happened to that guy? So they were tying a loose end in this movie,
Oh,
which didn't bother
that
me
Hulk
because
movie is actually really. I like that Hulk movie.
yeah, people think that Hulk was more true to like how he was, but Edward Norton was supposed to be the actual Hulk in the Marvel in the
Universe.
616.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess him and he had some ideas that they weren't messing with, and sometimes, like I said, once again, the actors think that they have more power than they do too early, and he was trying to call too many shots. At least this is what I've read, which doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but they didn't work out, so they went ahead and hired the other guy, which we like, the one who plays the Hulk now. He's amazing. I actually can't even see Edward Norton playing some of those parts that he did, because he's got some humor to him, and Edward Norton he's funny in Glass Onion. I don't know if you've seen Glass Onion, but did you see that?
No.
Chris is like, he's going on. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I mean, not a good movie. Let me take that back. I thought it was an okay movie, like my brother said. I mean, it just was like, all right, next.
That is the reason why I wanted this movie to be good, because of all the hate it was getting. Before anyone even watched it, people had already decided that they didn't like it. And for the situation that's clearly there, it kind of makes me want to root for it, But we keep it real here. The movie was overall suffering from something in the production. Again, the many rewrites. I don't know what happened or what was going on with that. I think the movie suffered for that. And the problem with this movie is that it played it too safe, in my opinion. There's no real progress with what's going on in the Marvel Universe. And after everything that's been going on with like the Ant-Man and the Wasp, the last Ant-Man movie, was all, I'd never even seen it. I just know that it was really bad. And I've seen
Quantumania.
Quantumania, yeah. It's bad, right?
Yeah, So I wanted to like that too.
I can't
It's
imagine.
all right.
I have a feeling that this movie is better than even that movie.
Mhm.
But on top of everything, Marvel has been kind of doing not so good since the Avengers. So I was hoping that this was going to be the next shift of momentum in the right direction. But it kind of stayed kind of lukewarm. There's some good moments. His fighting is unique. I'm not personally a fan of it, but I can see how a lot of people would like this new style of fighting. I'm more of a brute force kind of guy, but this dude, he's very strategic and precise with his kicks and stuff like that. It's cool. It's very visual. I feel like he's wasting a lot of energy, but that's just like where I'm at with everything. And just where Marvel is right now is very interesting. They have a lot of pressure, man. Like, they want to keep going, and they're still riding off of the momentum of Endgame and Infinity War. We're still longing for something that affected us like those two movies did. And there's been some hitters. I liked Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man. I liked the Doctor Strange. That was pretty controversial. Not many people liked it. I like that it was dark. I think it was Marvel's first rated R movie or something like that. It was like their darkest movie.
They said, they said Marvel's first horror movie.
First horror movie,
They
yeah.
kind of was.
It wasn't rated R. Yeah, but it was close. It was dark. And my favorite director, Sam Raimi, was behind it. So I'm pretty biased with that one. But another thing that's interesting is I don't know how this is really going to play out or how long it's going to play out. But there's a lot of heroes that aren't superheroes right now. And I'm not sure if they're trying to just like give people this sense of motivation, like, well, this guy can do it, I can do it kind of thing. I feel like they're kind of going backwards with that idea because they got Thunderbolts, a bunch of people with no powers. They're going against a super villain. And this Captain America is going against Red Hulk. This dude, he could just pinch his head off. But like, they're giving us hope that, oh, you can stand toe to toe with this thing.
Yeah.
And you don't have no powers. It's not clicking with, it's cool. I like it. But I feel like it would have been more effective if they did that first in the timeline. But I mean, it's kind of impossible to do that. It took everything that happened for it to get to this point. And it's just in an awkward stage right now, I feel like. Because we're dealing with people, we're used to seeing people flying through walls and stuff. You know, and that's still kind of happening, but not to the degree to where we're used to, you know. So to go from that high with everyone having superpowers to like, they barely showed Falcon, the original Falcon. He was just like flying around doing his little 10 cents, you know, he would like drizzle on 2 or 3 enemies and then it would pan to Hulk doing like it was the main characters. He never felt like a main character. So to go from that to responsibility of Captain America, it is a lot of pressure on this guy. And so I respected he stayed the course. He did nothing wrong as an actor. It's the storytelling and everything. And the fact that I feel like with this movie, they should have took some chances. They should have like done something shocking that altered the Marvel Universe in a way to where this movie mattered. But I feel like if you watch this movie or don't watch it, you're not really missing anything on a timeline important.
Damn. Good point. Good point. No, that's a very good point. Because you're introducing a new Captain America, right? How are you going to get people to really follow this guy? Well, you put him in a situation, or, you know, a situation that changes the whole dynamic of the universe. Mm-hmm. That way he can, it makes sense for people want to root for him to get the Avengers back together again. That's a great point, what you just said. Yeah. That's the way they get them to follow him, and they didn't do that. That's right. You're totally right. Because if they did that, okay, what's the next movie? He's going to start getting the Avengers together. Then you want to root for this guy because his first introduction film was like just more, you know, 616 altering. Forget all that multiverse. Like something, you know, crazy is going to happen and they know it. Like maybe they should have introduced Doom or something. They should have did something. Yeah, that makes sense what you said. Big time. You know, like Chris said, Anthony Mackie did a good job. All the acting was good. It was, you know, it's not the actor's fault. All the rewrites, it seems like Chris said they were just trying to get it across the finish line and make a good film, you know. But like Chris, yeah, I agree. They should have took more risk. I think it would have been easier to follow his character from this movie on, you know. Because, you know, yeah.
That's why I want to know what happened with the rewrites. I feel like some chances were probably taken, and whoever was sitting in the audience, it didn't rub them the right way. But it was probably something super cool. But you know how you mess with someone's character, they don't like it. They, you know, you kill off someone in a TV show, it's like, oh, this is BS.
Yeah.
Like, this person made the TV show, but it was shocking, right? It shocked you and it made you emotional. That's kind of the stuff I like.
Yeah.
And whatever happened, in the production, like they just took it away. I heard there's some people who were in the movie that just weren't, they just completely cut out. There's a couple of actors, I don't know the name. I heard about someone. I don't even know what role he played, but people were getting cut out, and it's just, so I felt like they just played it safe, and they're just like, all right, let's just get this out and then just move on. That's what this movie felt like. To chart it, I think, what is your least favorite Marvel movie? Whatever your least favorite Marvel movie is, this movie is better than that, but not by that much.
Man. Ooh, gosh. I didn't like, see, and this is the problem with Phase 4, if that's the phase they're on. They introduced too many characters. What they should have did was the characters that were left in the universe, they should have introduced the new characters through characters we already know. But they started off with their own stories, the Eternals. Who else? I don't even know, man. But
I couldn't finish Eternals.
That's what, you know what I mean? Like,
I just was so uninterested.
It's one of those movies where Marvel probably regrets making. Look, James, because now you have more characters that when something catastrophic happens, where are these characters at? Why aren't they helping? Because no one really wants to see him again. so you guys have these characters floating out there that you shouldn't have did. I think Guardians of the Galaxy, where James Gunn really fooled people. It got them getting comfortable. Oh, we can do the Eternals. Let's do these obscure, instead of just doing Captain America. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy, people weren't familiar with them. Now we can do the Eternals. We can start doing these other people that no one knows. No, dude, no. James Gunn, that was a special case with James Gunn and the Guardians of the Galaxy. That was amazing. It opened up their, they opened up the world like beyond the stars, right? But the Eternals, like, it didn't even feel like it fit in the Marvel universe. It felt like a DC movie. I don't know.
It didn't feel like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it didn't feel like
it didn't. What does a Marvel movie feel like? I don't know, but this one wasn't it at all.
This, I don't know, man. Which was my least favorite?
It was slow.
The Eternals?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Like, this had action, like, Captain America 4 had action in it, all right?
Good action.
Yeah, no matter what.
Action was there.
Yeah, no matter what, it had action, right?
Yeah.
But the Eternals was like, I don't know, man.
Origin story of some sort?
It was an origin story of these
people you don't care
immortal beings that they weren't. See, here's the thing. Well, why did they make the Eternals? Because, look, we're going all over. But why did they make it? Because, so they're not in Secret Wars, the Eternals. So why are you introducing us to these characters that when Secret Wars happens, where are they at? Why are you guys doing that? So I think they just got ahead of themselves. They started introducing all kinds of, new characters and, Miss Marvel, and they were talking about doing Young Avengers at one time, and now I don't know what's going on with that. I heard the Avengers film Doomsday got pushed back. I heard they signed in Hugh Jackman for 10 more years. I don't know if they know what they're doing, but hopefully they're gonna, the Russo brothers. Hopefully they tie it up. They got the Russo brothers on the case. If you guys need the real bros, you can get us too. Maybe we can help you out. Some of the people who write the comic books should write the movie scripts, man. And I think they'd be all right.
Yeah.
You guys got these screenwriters over there who don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes. But when you have people who love the comic books, like James Gunn, Russo brothers, they come in and they're able to make sense of some of the stuff. But a lot of people just throw stuff at the wall. Oh, let's just throw more action. All right, they'll do it. It's Batman, But it's got to make sense, guys. It's got to make sense. Anyways.
Again, I think that's they just threw out nets after Avengers Endgame just to see what would catch.
Yeah.
Because they came out with that lineup. We're doing this. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Trying to get people excited, but then
like Submariner, Submariner, like you have all these people out there, and when things start to happen, you're going to be like, well, where's that character at during this? You know?
Like, why aren't they helping?
Yeah.
Because we were asking about that in Avengers. Certain Avenger movies are like, okay, these guys need help, Warriors. Or
Yeah.
the Solo movies. Like, isn't so and such in the same city? How come he's not flying over and...
Right.
But it happens sometimes, right?
It happens.
A couple times. It was like a Solo movie, and it was like Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk was in it.
Well, that's what makes those films good, right? And that's what they should do. They should use characters that we love and introduce characters that way instead of giving them their own film and then they disappear. Oh, that didn't work. And then they're still over here when some, it's like, it's cool how with Captain America 4, they had the big, so in the Eternals, that big old, where they got adamantium from?
Yeah.
I like that tie-in. I like the fact that, now we have adamantium in that universe.
But that was it, right?
Yeah. So that was pretty much it for the most of it. And they introduced Red Hulk. And they finished a storyline of the one guy, the Beyonder, because he was floating out there. Dude, I think Hulk and Iron Man were the first two movies, I think.
Yeah.
And this guy's been out there this whole time controlling Ross, which is cool. So they tied in that story, which is, so they did kill a few birds with one stone with this film.
Yeah, I didn't realize that because I was wondering why they were showing that old Hulk. Because I recognize he has a very distinguished look, and they showed a clip of it. I was like, wait, what was that about? And I totally forgot Homeboy was in that.
Yeah. No, his name was
Annihilation.
Beyonder. I forgot his name, guys. I'm sorry, it wasn't Beyonder. I'm gonna have to look him up. And I the leader. I think it's the leader. Yeah, my bad. I was saying the Beyonder. The Beyonder is in Secret Wars, which he might not even be in the movie, but it might be Robert Downey's character playing. I don't know, but the leader. That's who it was. The leader was in this movie. And he was in the first Hulk movie, and this whole time he's been controlling Ross, kind of pulling the strings on Ross. And he's been giving him, turning him into Red Hulk slowly without him really knowing it. So that was cool. Then the adamantium is introduced for the X-Men universe. Anthony Mackie's character, we got a chance to look. Now Thunderbolts is from Thunderbolt Ross, the last name of the Red Hulk. So Thunderbolts, he's supposed to be in the Thunderbolts. Yeah, the Red Hulk is supposed to be part of the Thunderbolts. That's why they're called the Thunderbolts. His last name is his name is Ross, Thunderbolt, yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
but if they run with that, or
they might not. Yeah, they might. Who knows? Maybe he'll be in Thunderbolts 2. Who knows? Or maybe there won't be a 2.
Weird.
But Thunderbolts looks pretty good. It definitely looks entertaining. It looks like it's got some comedy in there and stuff. So, like I said, you watch. If you're following the Marvel stories, which, if you're a comic book collector, you probably are, or if you used to collect them, you've been waiting for movies, you're going to watch this movie. It ties in some stuff, but was it the worst movie? No, like Chris said, I wouldn't say it was the worst Marvel movie because, I didn't really like the Marvels. No, I like the Marvels better than Captain Marvel. To me, Captain Marvel is the worst. I can't stand Captain Marvel, the movie, the first movie. I don't know how it made so much money, man. The movie I didn't like it. I like Thor, the Dark Elf Part 2. People didn't like Thor 2. I liked that movie. That was good.
Yeah.
Can't think of, Quantumania, wasn't that good.
Rush job.
Yeah, there's some editing in there that was really bad. Definitely the worst Ant-Man movie. But yeah, this one, it wasn't good as Captain America 1. It wasn't good as Captain America 2. It wasn't good as 3, Civil War.
Nah.
But it wasn't a horrible movie, but I could see why. But I can't see it being ranked lower than Captain Marvel or or the Eternals, like, I don't know, not for me at least, you know.
Yeah. It was entertaining. It kept me watching throughout. It just kind of wasn't very progressive as far as, you know, the Marvel timeline goes.
Yeah.
And it's just like a solid action movie with Marvel characters, really. That's about it for this one. I recommend that you just wait for it to arrive on the Disney Plus channel. Stream it whenever you have some free time. It's solid, but I wish it was better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It finished tying some things up, but it could have been better. But it was fighting an uphill battle from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, with that, till next time, Real Bros out.
Thank you.